These warriors look hilarious in that taxi cab. The VR Vixen has a lot of talent. Can Barry and Oldman level up? Shout out to the patrons who contribute to the channel. You too can contribute over at patreon.com/vmcampos for $3.33 a month. What a deal. Consider pledging so you can be a part of the show. Hello and welcome to the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club. I'm your host, VM Campos. This is a series where I review a comic book, new or old, from my collection and rate it on the factors of the cover art, interior art, plot, and enjoyability of the book on a scale of 1 to 5. And then I tell you to get it or shred it. This week I'm reading VR Vixen number 0, published in 1997 by London Knight Studios. Let's check out the book. All right, a little bit of behind-the-scenes info, first of all. This is a classic 1997 comic book published by London Knight Studios, who was celebrating their 5th year anniversary at this point. And this is an issue number 0 sort of preview to this character, VR Vixen, who I'm sure had some staying power, right? Here we are at the beginning of 2024, and everyone's talking about the latest VR Vixen streaming series, right? Everyone is slabbing their 9.8 VR Vixens number 0 photo covers, right? Well, not to be too glib, but yeah, this is a one-and-done character published way back in the 90s, right at the bad girls craze of the 90s. London Knight Studios having their own Razor and other such characters. Why not add another one to the pile? VR Vixen. And why not tap into these newfangled computers? These things that can do such things as connect to another dimension and pull in a badass warrior to battle the bad guys in our dimension. Yeah. So this is an interesting book overall because it's a pseudo-independent book. London Knight Studios. They're more well known for that character Razor. And black and white, independent, creator-owned type of a book, lost to the mists of times of the 90s. What's funny is this kind of book, the printing of this, especially with the black ink, can really rub off on your fingers if you hold on to the page way too long. It's just this classic 90s independent book that is definitely targeting a demographic of comic book fans. And you can tell that various characters were, created to maybe catch lightning in a bottle because this bad girl's craze will never end. So let's add one that is from the virtual reality world. It can't fail. This book is the variant cover, the photo variant cover featuring Julie Smith, who is credited as cover model and fabulous babe on the Indicia page. And you know that if you, that if you follow my channel, that always get the cosplay covers. So here is a cosplay cover of this independent character from the 90s with a pretty accurate representation of the character's costume, what little there is of it, right here on the cover as a photo cover. So it's a fun cover in terms of, we've got the model dressed up in this fantastical outfit and they're on a real location and sexy pose and everything, and it's always cool to see a live version of a comic character. And I love seeing photo covers from a more bygone time where nowadays they're way more common, especially over there in Dynamite. Here at London Knight Studios is doing their photo covers as well. You see them in some of the more indie publishers. So for the cosplay aspect of it all, which, I'm a fan of, I'll give this a 5 out of 5 on the cover. For the, do I actually want this in my collection and then have to explain it to people factor, I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5. Interior art is in glorious black and white on relatively bright white paper, but this is also the kind of paper that the black ink is just going to easily rub off on your fingers if you hold on to it too long. Credits here include that the pencils are by Jude Millen and the inks by Rick Ketchum. Letters by Dave Vance. This is also kind of fun to note right here. We have a credit, Cover Colors and Computer Tricks by Jackhammer. So interior art. Well, it's 90s independent art. It's not amazing. It's serviceable. It's better than I can do. It features a variety of panel layouts, driving the story forward. It's not boring looking. It's done pretty well. It's a pretty serviceable book. Line weights and such are interesting. There isn't really any dead line. There's a variety of brush strokes and the like. It's not the kind of black and white that can get extremely cluttered. You know, that style where they cannot separate various subjects easily. This is good. The penciler and the inker do a good job of black and white. Here you've got this warrior against a black background, but then there's a spotlight of white, and the character stands out well. There's a fun flourish of the speech balloon over that panel and the previous panel, switching over to another small panel, but a lot of action, good word balloons and the like, speed lines. Yeah, it's serviceable. It's, you know, they got their ruler out and did the perspective grid, and that computer looks like a computer from the 90s. And VR Vixen herself, well, it's definitely Bad Girls style. So yeah, the art is serviceable. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. It's creative. There's various panel layouts. Got some kind of cool hair on the main character. The design of the character is pretty consistent throughout. There's some flourishes in the panels. Here's an open panel compared to the closed panels. Flourish of a background. Be careful on that, however, when you've got a simple background with no toning and then the main characters that are also with no toning, you can have some weird tangents. When you have just a little bit of flourishes like those hatching lines there, with then the character on top and the word balloon, that looks good. There's a good sequence here. Can I come in? No. Close the door on him, please. So it's pretty good. It's good overall layouts and anatomy and expressions. That one's hilarious. Not suggestive at all. Well, we don't need suggestion when we got obviousness. So yeah, as we browse the various pages here, it does the job. It is visually interesting enough. It's got cartooniness. It's got realism. It's got action. It's got creativity. Here's a full page splash in the middle. Sequence of action. Yeah, interior art is a 4 out of 5. All right, plot. Well, we've got here marked or noted as script Kevin Hill, based on characters created by Alan Mruvka. And actually at the very beginning here on the cover, we have Alan Mruvka's VR Vixen. So I don't know if I know any other Mruvka joints out there, but they created this character and the situations, and then we have Kevin Hill doing the script. So what's the plot about? Well, it's the 90s, and Barry is into comic books, that freaking nerd. And so he picks up his usual stash of comics and also picks up one of those behind-the-counter issues of Pent Babe comics. The setup is fine. We see the main character Barry. He's into comics and such. He's also into computers, I guess. He's browsing that latest issue of Pent Babe, and hey, wait a minute, there's a brand new CD-ROM, VR Vixen. So he is going to buy that CD-ROM mail order. The other character, Oldman, is the letter carrier who's vaguely friends with Barry, although it doesn't really seem like they get along that well, so maybe it's a one-way friendship. So he buys the CD-ROM interactive adventure of VR Vixen. Oldman is annoying. He wants to play it too, but they're not the best of friends, but he'll be back. So this is so meta. It's the character playing a CD-ROM game, and we may or may not have that CD-ROM character come to life. No spoilers. But here we have such amazing prose in this game. Amongst the eternal realms of Maribedia, there rises a new queen, Alquia the Wicked. All must bend to her fascist rule, or face the lash of the whip, or the steel of the executioner's blade. There is seemingly no end to the forces of destruction arranged by her side. And so amazing graphics really catch Barry's attention here, and such amazing interactivity as click to continue. Go back or click OK to go to level 1. These must be some of the most amazing graphics ever. Such a tremendous polygon count in this shot. And VR Vixen is ready to start level 1. Amazing splash page there showing her full glory. We can compare that outfit with this outfit. Yep, exactly spot on. So he's playing the various levels. He's reached all the way up to level 5 after a long night of gaming. There's a storm rolling in. I'm sure that doesn't matter. So then Oldman shows up and he wants to hang out. He's coming with his hot dog and big gulp and a puppy dog expression that melts Barry's heart. Well, not really. He lets him in and he can watch him play. Like, I really don't get a sense of, why are these guys friends? Barry obviously hates Oldman, and Oldman wants to hang out with Barry. I don't know, is it he loves that hair or other things? I don't know. So, playing the next level of VR Vixen, amazing tactics in that game, and then it causes Barry to drop his lunch. Now, at that exact same time, lightning strikes Barry's computer, and what does that do? It brings VR Vixen to our dimension. And she knows that she must continue to battle the forces of the evil queen. She needs Barry's power, and the bonding is complete, and she's ready to start to fight the evil forces. Where are those evil forces? They materialize inside of a local taxicab. That's a hilarious panel there. There's action, there's adventure, there's battling. Will VR Vixen beat those bad guys? Yep, after a little bit of acrobatics and her weapon finds its target true. She defeats everyone, no problem. Very abruptly the story ends, literally, because then after that it's house ads. It ends with that battle, and she's got to go back to her dimension, I guess, and invites Barry that, yeah, you can, I'll be back or something. And one final dig at Oldman, there's not even a the end or to be continued. This is, after all, issue number 0, and there was never future issues, so this is all you get. So, reviewing the plot here, I'll give this a 1 out of 5. This plot is hilariously bad and campy. There's no background of these characters except he's a comic book nerd and he's a mailman, I guess, and why are they even friends? It's about playing a sexy interactive video game, and the video game comes to life. The end. So yeah, the plot is a 1 out of 5. Enjoyability. Well, I guess there's 2 reasons why you might enjoy this book, and it's not the art or the story. Yeah, this is just some classic bad 90s independent TNA comics. The art, as I've said, it's fine. The art is serviceable. The art is interesting. The plot is horrible. And I'm a sucker for cosplay covers, so I guess the enjoyability of this is a 3 out of 5, I guess? Tell me in the comments what you would really rank this as enjoyable. Now, what is kind of fun is to look at the various house ads to really see the target audience of this publisher, because we have all of these various photo covers, sexy covers, limited edition covers, and just this manufactured scarcity of there's only 300 of these, so get your own copy. Now this is interesting right here. If you look carefully here, here's a variant cover, Ladies of London Night Special. This book is just photos of the characters with real-life models, but wait a minute. Features hot photo spreads of Carmen Electra, Julie Smith, Heather Elizabeth Parkhurst, and more. Carmen Electra was modeling this independent, sexy comic book? That's interesting. That's something enjoyable about this book. That's something that is to give them kudos that you got the Carmen Electra. Now, actually, how big was Carmen Electra in 1997? Was she a struggling actress at that point where she was modeling for the covers of independent comic books in weird cosplay? Maybe. I don't know what the timeline is. And then, like I said, I'm already getting some of this ink on my fingers. Yeah, don't touch this very long or it's going to rub off the ink on your fingers. So that's kind of interesting there. And Razor is the most famous character from this publisher, London Night, and there was Dark Razor with very creative spelling. So the enjoyability of this, 3 out of 5. Should you get it or shred it? Definitely shred this trash. After all, you're going to have to explain to people why this is in your collection if you keep it. Might as well just shred it and move on. Shout out to the patrons that got to see this this comic first before everyone else over on the Patreon. Patreon.com/vmcampos. Why not pledge to the channel for $3.33 a month to keep it funded, to keep it going, to become a part of it. Be one of the few, the proud, that actually contributes back to your favorite creators as they review trash comic books. This stuff isn't free, you know. And for $3.33 a month, you can be a part of it. You can help VR Vixen level up. If you can't quite pledge at the moment, no worries. Simply like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Smash that subscribe button. You know what to do. And also tell me what you thought about this book. Do you have any London Night Studios books? Have you picked up any of these limited edition books and slabbed them? How does it feel like to send one of these nude covers over to CGC and then also proudly display them in your living room? What do you think about Carmen Electra being a comic book model? Tell me in the comments. Should I track down any of these other fine classics like Tommy Gun? Or Poison, Cadillacs and Green Tomatoes? Tell me in the comments. Do you have the full run of Razor comics? Don't tell me in the comments. Unless you also have VR Vixen #0. This has been the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club, and I'll see you next week.